It's so cute. Oh. Oh. Oh, home. It's so cute.
Oh, I have it pointed away from you.
How's that biscuit? Good?
It's super good. Oh, it's so soft. Why doesn't ours have that?
Oh yeah, in the Mirror Mall, I got like this book for $5 with our like drink. So we're gonna buddy read it together.
And it's short. It's short.
It's short.
And it's cool. She said it was gonna be scary, so I like it.
We're gonna be scared. It's okay.
3 days.
Barton Creek. Yay.
Probably waking up.
Bro, that was so good. Oh, that's so nice.
The sound seems so pretty.
Oh, there it is. Yay. Where'd you go? She did say it was up here, right? Because no one said anything.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. I just wanted to say like how cool it is to be here with Chloe tonight. I have known Chloe for a while. We actually have the same agent, and we signed with that agent pretty close to one another. So we've watched each other go through debut years and all of that.
Pandemic year.
Yes.
So, for anyone who hasn't heard me pitch it this way yet, I think my fastest elevator pitch of Valley Fortune is Shakespeare's As You Like It meets a Chinese C-drama meets a Marvel movie. I think that really gets to the essence of it. So at first, I think stumbling onto As You Like It is a bit of a coincidence, really, because, you know, originally Rosalind comes from Romeo and Juliet's Rosaline. That's the reason why her character existed in the first draft, and that's the reason why she gets the like foil narrative in comparison to Juliet. But then, as I was thinking about like, oh, I want to do a spin-off, I want to like delve into her character more, yada yada yada, there's not much, like, whether it's Shakespearean analysis or academic work on Rosaline, because she's not really a character in the original play. She's kind of just, she serves a function. But if you were to adapt her further, most of it would be invention. And so what actually happened was, by complete chance, I was looking at some of Shakespeare's other plays, and As You Like It happened to have a protagonist named Rosalind. I can't read Shakespeare's mind from 400 years into the past. I don't know if that was intended. I know, right? I don't have Shakespeare on a Ouija board, unfortunately. Or do I? The Taylor Swift reference I'm most proud of for sneaking in there is, I think these are mild spoilers if you haven't read the first duology yet. But I made it canon that Dimitri had green eyes. Just because of Wonderland and Long Story Short being like a connective song. So this, I need to provide more context for this. I have a theory that Wonderland and Long Story Short are connected, right? Because she mentions a rabbit hole in both of them. So my theory is that Wonderland is the like toxic ex, and Long Story Short is the person that you move on with afterwards. Therefore, Foul Lady Fortune and this duology is the Long Story Short, and Rosalind's arc in these Violent Slice and Our Violent Ends is the Wonderland. And in Wonderland, there's a line where it goes like, don't you flash your green eyes at me, or like, and then there was like something about arms twisting around her. And I like put that in there. I was like, there's that flashback scene when she's thinking about the past, like very vaguely, right? Because, you know, the past is in the past. But at no point in the original duology had I ever mentioned Dimitri's eye color. That's also a thing that I do. I always forget to describe people physically. I think I got to like round 3 or 4.
I always get that note.
Right?
My
they're
editor,
like, what do they look like? And I'm like, I don't know.
How am I supposed to know?
I will always get to at least line edits before someone is like, can you describe like their hair color, their
No.
eye color? No, I can't. I actually don't think I've ever told you guys what Roma's eye color is. They're just dark.
My favorite note from my editor was just like, she said, I was a prince and he had like just shown up and she was like, your readers are gonna want to know what he looks like, i.e. is he hot? And so as like a snarky thing, but I took it out before I sent it to her because it was just a joke anyway, in case she ever sees it, so it's just a joke. But I put in the line, I was like, he stood before her, he was hot. That's all we need to know.
Wait, okay, but I will always include that. Like, in my books, it is always very clear that characters are hot. You don't know what they look like, but you know they're hot.
What's your like code for that? How do you know?
He had a jawline that could cut
Yes.
stone. His cheeks caught the light with their glimmer. His hair was thick and ruffled as he ran a hand through them. You know the codes.
Yeah, I just want to know yours were.
You never know their eye color, their hair color, but you'll know the vibes. So I always do that. You genuinely, I have seen someone ask me like, what is Benedict's eye color? Because there's art where it's gray and there's art where it's blue. And then in Our Violent Ends, I just said they were dark. So it's, don't get colors out of me. I will not give you iris eye colors. Anyway, why did
I don't
start talking
remember.
about this?
I think Wonderland, the green eyes.
Yeah, so at no point had I ever established what color Dimitri's eyes were. However, in this one, I made them green because it's a Wonderland reference. And then there are a lot of other references to You Are in Love of 1989, where there's that line like, he wakes up, strange look on his face. I was like, I need to put that in there somewhere. And my editor tried to kill it at least 3 different times. Like, she was like, this chapter doesn't work. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So then I got rid of it. Then I was like, okay, I'll find that line somewhere else. I put it somewhere else. I was like, this chapter still doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, fine. I got rid of it, put it somewhere else. I think I made it survive. I'm pretty sure it's in there somewhere.
Like, in my mind, I'm trying to think. And I don't know, but I'm sure it is.
Yeah, because there
it's
were
500 pages. I don't have it memorized.
Yeah, it's 512 pages. There were a lot of opportunities to put it in. Well, see, that's the thing. Originally, it had been the scene where I think Orion gets sick, and then like it's the classic like, I'm gonna go now. No, don't go, and like grab the wrist. You know that. And then it didn't work. I had to take it out. And I was like, damn it, I'm so mad. I went through second draft, third draft without it. And then I found a way to put it back in. I needed a conversation scene. And instead of Orion getting sick, Rosalind gets sick. And I was like, I know, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go now. No, wait, stay with me. Like that.
Do you think our editors have drinks with their friends and are like, my
I'm
author will just not stop trying to put this line in the book. I keep trying to get her to take it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do that a lot. You know the advice like, kill your darlings? I don't kill my darlings. I wrap them up in a little blanket and I make sure that you need them. Because
you have to decide what your darlings are.
Exactly.
Though. Yes.
Exactly. It's like most times you have to, when people say the advice, kill your darlings, they mean be ruthless in what you are and aren't willing to die on the hill for. And so I'm like, well, if I am willing to cut it out, it's not my darling anyway. It doesn't apply to the advice. But if I really, really want it as a darling, I make it so that the story can't be divorced from it, right? At any moment, if the scene is like, oh, this feels unnecessary, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make it necessary. And then you can't get rid of it.
Where were we at?
We took a tangent.
We took a tiny little tangent. All right, who was hardest for you to write too? Either one of us.
I think the way that I see it is that Juliet is closer to who I would want to be. In a way, when I wrote her, she was the character I wanted to see, most of all. Not so much, drawn from my heart. Of course, there are big parts of her that is drawn from me. I try to give all of my characters something of me so they feel real, right? There's something about them that is still from a real human being, assuming that I am a real human being and not just 3 aliens in a trench coat. But I think Rosalind was closer to drawing from myself, whereas Juliet was aspirational, if that makes sense, right? Because like for a debut, it's always that like, you know, this is what I want to see most of all, this is what I want to put out into the world. And so Juliet was that YA protagonist that I had always wanted to read as a teenager. You know, the knifey one that just goes around like kicking down doors because no one's going to tell her no. She has a lot of privilege and power in her societal role. Whereas Rosalind, I think, is a lot nearer and dearer to me in the sense that like I give her a lot of trauma that I think I'm also working through. And then it's like, okay, well, if I've given you that trauma, then I guess I'm also giving you like my own monologues and thought processes. And even if like on an exterior we're like more different, if I give you my thoughts, then I think we are a lot closer than, say, you know, giving another protagonist certain like attributes or like comedic humor or like your like dry jokes, right? It's like cutting off pieces of you differently and giving it to the protagonists. But I think the amount that I put into Rosalind is probably the closest I've done for any other protagonist. Yeah. Oh. My immediate instinct is to go for the jokey, like there needs to be like some sort of stabbing in there. But you know, I know that that's not a formula that always works. If you're writing like contemporary, like, you know, rival chefs, don't make them stab each other. Right? You don't want to write like a jail cell plotline. I think the tactic I always go for first is to justify why they hate each other. I think a lot of times when you're either like reading an enemies to lovers or you're like trying to plot your own, the thing that keeps you like gripped onto the page is when that turn is going to happen. And the harder it feels like that turn should be, the more you're kind of like addicted to watching it unfold, right? So I think the more like obstacles that you can throw in their way, but also the severity of the obstacles, I think a lot of times like when people are giving like enemies to lovers hot takes, it's like, well, that's not real enemies to lovers, that's rivals to lovers. And there's such a like expansive like range, right? But I kind of try to approach it as like, you know, enemies to lovers is, it has an enmity. What is the word? What is the noun of enemies? Animosity, but also like it's spelled enmity, right? Yeah, that's the word. I think that's the word. Yeah, it needs to exist, and it needs to have like a solid reason, as opposed to like, you know.
Because I said so.
Yeah, exactly. I think as authors, we're very prone to, oh well, I want to do this, therefore it is. But then it's like it's about applying all of the justification and weaving that into the story. Selective about the advice that you take. I don't know if this is very meta advice.
My advice.
Yeah, my advice is
don't listen to advice.
Be careful about advice. But I do think this is important advice because in an industry like traditional publishing, it's very opaque. There's not a lot of information available, and of the information that you can find, there are a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and they pass themselves off as authorities on the subject, and oftentimes they're completely wrong, or they're completely talking from a subjective point of view, and anyone approaching like whatever that topic is, like your mileage may vary, right? It's always up in the air. So I think it's like, be very selective about the advice that you take, and especially like realize that when people say like you have to be this or you have to do this or anything that comes as a rule in like absolutes generally tends to be like what works for a certain like majority or a certain group. It doesn't always mean that it has to be applied across the board and that people are wrong if they don't fit it. That being said, of course, it's useful to follow guidelines, it's useful to follow rules, but it's always like take everything with a grain of salt, and especially take advice from people that you trust and you think have the credentials to be giving you advice. So again, that was all very meta, and I don't think I even offered actual advice. So then I'll turn it to
No, that was good advice. Like, be careful. The best advice I've gotten, I actually just got it recently, and it's to take yourself seriously. And I am a published author. I have books on contract with Big Five publisher, and I still struggle to take myself seriously. And the author who was talking to me, I think, saw that and told me, because he's like, well, what's the worst thing that you think is going to happen? And I was just like, financial ruin. Like, I am just going to sink here. And he was like, so you are living mentally in your worst case scenario because you are worried about hitting your worst case scenario. So all you are doing is in this like cesspool of negativity in your own head. And if you do not take yourself seriously as a writer or an author, no one else is going to take you seriously either. And I think this is good. That's good advice for just anything in your life. English major, if that's what you really want to do, we can have a separate conversation about that later. I'm just kidding. But take yourself seriously and call yourself an author, call yourself a writer. Because you will teach people how to treat you, and they will not treat you the way that they will mimic the way you treat yourself.
That was good.
Yeah, I'm older than you.
I can't wait to have that wisdom.
It's coming one way or another. So is chronic pain, taxes.
Oh God.
My ankles already click every time I walk down the stairs.
Oh, my sweet summer child. It's just the beginning.
When you have no upper strength, so you have to carry a basket.
It's okay. That's strong.
It's strong.
My hands are too weak. I would love that, honestly.
Update, we just got done. We got char. The event was so good. What do you think, Ramallah?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
She's literally Pinterest.
She's Pinterest. She was so nice, and all the people there were so cute. Recommend going to see Chloe Gong.
Took 3 hours, but it was worth it, actually. It was actually worth it.
I was dying. My face is all oily. I have like a new shirt.
I was hungry.
Yeah. Did you even get anything to snack on?
I got IHOP at home. My dad's message popped up. I was like, okay, I'll just hold on there. Because I know I'm not going to finish that either.
Me. Okay. I'll see y'all at home. Okay, hi, I'm home. I'm like exhausted right now. I don't know if you can tell. I had so much fun during this event. It was seeing Chloe and Heather. It was so nice. Heather literally is the author for Malice and Miss Rule. And literally, I remember so much people hyping up Malice, which is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I believe. Or like Sleeping Beauty with the Spindle. I forgot which one it is. And literally I've seen it for like a long while, and I need to get book 1 because I want to show you the stuff from today. So starting off, we're talking about Heather anyways. Yeah, I got her to sign this. I paid the original price, $27. It's okay though. But literally look at it. I need to get Malice now in hardback so they can match together. But yeah, for Stephania, embrace your power. And it's literally signed by her, and she literally wrote like this little note right here because her and Chloe were like in sync with finishing like signing. And she literally wrote, I was racing Chloe Gong and messed up, which is so funny. I love that because like they were in sync trying to hurry up. It was so adorable because there were so many people that came to that event. It was crazy. They had no system. They were just like, get up in the line, there you go. And like me and Ramallah were like almost towards the end, and like there were still like 30-ish people still waiting to get their books signed. So it was like there's probably like almost 300 people there at that venue. It was crazy. But yeah, this is probably gonna be like a really long vlog thing because I got some clips that I really want to include because they were just hitting with Chloe talking and Heather. And also too, I don't know if you saw it as well, but me and Ramallah at the cafe at Barnes & Noble, since we didn't buy a book, but it was $5 and it's a short book, we're going to include it in Buddy Read, which is nothing but Black and Teeth. It is a little novella, so it's short, like, so we're going to buddy read it together in one sitting, hopefully. And literally the person at the counter was like, it's scary. It's like, the Haunted Hill House, I believe. Like, it's like this. We'll see what we think about it, let you know. And then of course too, I obviously got the babies signed. I want to read them because I don't know what they're writing because like I was talking to them. And literally for Stephania, she put stars and Chloe Gong. Love that. I still haven't read this duology / like spin-off trilogy type of thing. And then this one, Dare to Love. Dare to Love. I'm excited. And then the newest release, I'm supposed to be getting the other edition of Foul Lady Barnes and Noble one, and it won't be obviously signed, I think, but at least I have one of them signed. And literally on this one, it already came with like a special plate here for some odd reason. I don't know why. They were like so confused too. And literally she wrote it in Sharpie for Estefania. Welcome to the cover branch, Chloe Gong. I'm excited. I'm really excited because literally she said the ending is hitting in that one, and I'm like so scared. And then lastly, I got some blind date with the books. I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on these, but I want to show you anyways and let you know. On the receipt, it shows like what the book is inside, so I didn't look at the receipt. I don't know what they are. The first one I got was this one that caught my attention in the line, which is This Book Likes Competitions, Romance, and Magic. This one is a YA one, and it was only $11.99. This one is a romance. It is $17. This book likes mysterious, sexy neighbors, plot twist, and it's a 90s rom-com. Sold. But yeah, hopefully going to be doing a whole video on that aspect. But anyways, I had so much time, had so much fun hanging out with Ramallah, going to go see Hello My Darling. We went to go, like I said, book shopping before, and then meeting Chloe Gong and the author, Heather. It was so nice. I just want to post this video for memories because, like, this is a fun journey, to be honest. And I want to come back and reminisce on it. And it was just so nice. But yeah, anyways, I hope you all have a good day, good night, morning, whatever time this reaches you. And until next time, bye!